They called him the Sandman, a figure of myth said to bring dreams to life. But in one small, quiet town, the dreams he brought were nightmares, ones that no one woke up from. Dreams are supposed to be a safe place, a retreat from reality. But what if those dreams held a darkness that bled into the waking world? In this chilling story, a town plagued by sleep-related deaths learns the terrifying truth behind the so-called Sandman. Stay with me, because the ending will leave you questioning everything. It all began in late autumn, in the quiet town of Stillwater. Stillwater wasn't the kind of place that made headlines. It was a sleepy little community where everyone knew everyone. But that peace was shattered when the first body was found. Marie Dawson, a 32-year-old kindergarten teacher, had always been the picture of health. But one morning, she didn't show up for work. Her coworkers called, concerned, but there was no answer. A neighbor found her later that afternoon, still in her bed, as if she had just drifted off to sleep. Except she wasn't breathing. What was odd was the look on her face, a peaceful smile that didn't belong on someone who had died. The autopsy revealed nothing unusual. No toxins, no signs of struggle. It was as if her body had simply shut down. The town chalked it up to a freak incident. But then, it happened again. 2 weeks later, 19-year-old Ethan Grady, home from college for the holidays, was found dead in his room. Just like Marie, he looked serene, almost content. The coroner couldn't explain it. People started whispering about a curse. The stories started to spread. Some said it was a new disease, something science hadn't discovered yet. Others thought it was a paranormal phenomenon. After all, they whispered, everyone who had died had been talking about strange dreams before their deaths. Marie had confided in her best friend that she'd been dreaming of a man with hollow eyes and a voice that echoed like wind through a canyon. Ethan had told his brother he was having the same dream, a man who sprinkled something over his face as he slept. The town began calling him the Sandman. It became a kind of local legend. Parents warned their children about staying up too late. Sleep with one eye open, they'd joke nervously, or the Sandman will get you. Then, it got worse. 3 more people died over the next month, all in their sleep. No connections between them, other than the hauntingly peaceful expressions they wore in death. People were scared to go to sleep. Stores sold out of coffee and energy drinks. Some people even left town altogether. Lena, a local journalist, decided to dig deeper. She didn't believe in curses or ghostly sandmen, but the pattern of deaths was too strange to ignore. She started interviewing families, reading through coroner's reports, and even meeting with a dream therapist from a neighboring city. What she found only made her more uneasy. All the victims had spoken about feeling watched in their sleep. One woman described it as if a shadow lingered just outside her vision, whispering. Another mentioned hearing footsteps that seemed to echo through her dreams. But none of it made sense, until Lena found a strange detail hidden in the coroner's photos. On every victim's pillow, there was a faint sprinkling of sand, too faint for anyone to notice without really looking for it. Lena started staying up late, going through every piece of evidence. One night, as she sat in her dimly lit living room, a knock came at her door. It was almost midnight. She hesitated, but eventually opened it to find a man standing there. He looked ordinary, maybe too ordinary. But his eyes were hollow, just like the victims had described. "I hear you've been asking about me," he said in a calm, almost soothing voice. Lena froze. She tried to speak, but no sound came out. The man reached into his pocket and pulled out a small pouch, tipping it just slightly. A fine, glittering dust trickled onto her doorstep. "I bring peace to those who suffer," he continued, stepping closer. "But you've been making it very hard for me to work." Lena slammed the door and locked it, her heart racing. She ran to her bedroom and grabbed the phone, dialing the police. When they arrived, the man was gone, but in his place, they found a trail of sand leading into the woods behind her house. The police began investigating, and what they uncovered was more horrifying than anyone could have imagined. The Sandman wasn't a legend. He was a man, a drifter who had been moving from town to town, killing his victims with a sedative-laced powder that induced a peaceful, permanent sleep. He targeted those he believed were troubled or in pain, leaving their families and communities to grapple with his twisted sense of mercy. The man was eventually caught in another town, but by then he had claimed dozens of lives, and while he was locked away, his chilling moniker remained: the Sandman. The name Stillwater would never forget. Sometimes the scariest monsters aren't the ones lurking in our dreams. They're the ones walking among us, hiding in plain sight. So tonight, as you drift off to sleep, be thankful it's just a legend. Or is it? If you want more stories like this, make sure to subscribe for the next one.